Okay, so we're diving deep into The Room Next Door today,
I'm ready.
which, for anyone who hasn't seen it,
It's a psychological thriller.
right, a psychological thriller, yeah.
Definitely gets under your skin.
Oh, yeah, it stays with you.
It does.
So basically, it's about this artist, Eliza.
Yeah, really talented.
Yeah, and she's got like the worst creative block.
Oh, yeah. She's struggling.
And she ends up moving into this rundown apartment building.
It's creepy.
Oh, it's totally creepy. And right next door to her apartment, there's this room,
Locked up tight.
and it's like completely inaccessible.
Nobody knows what's in there.
Exactly. And right away, the landlord, he's this super weird guy.
He gives off bad vibes for sure.
Oh, yeah, like major red flags. And he specifically tells Eliza to stay away from the room.
Almost like he's tempting her, you know?
Right. It's like the more he tells her not to go near it, the more she's drawn to it.
And that's where that psychological thriller element really kicks in.
Totally. Because you're like, is he genuinely concerned for her safety?
Or is there something else going on?
Yeah. Is he hiding something?
Right, and that question just keeps lingering in the back of your mind.
And then you start hearing these strange sounds coming from the room.
Whispers.
Yeah, like whispers and...
Faint music sometimes.
oh, and thuds, like something heavy hitting the floor.
It's super unsettling.
Oh, it totally freaks Eliza out. And honestly, it freaked me out too. It's like the film is playing on our deepest fears.
You know, the fear of the unknown.
Exactly. What's behind that door?
And you start to see how it's affecting Eliza. You know, it's almost like the room itself is a manifestation of her creative block.
Oh, I like that. Because it's true. As an artist, you have those doubts, those fears.
Yeah, it's like those whispers she's hearing are her own internal critic.
So the room is kind of like this symbol for everything holding her back.
Absolutely. And then we meet Marcus.
The neighbor.
Right, he seems friendly enough.
Yeah, but there's something, I don't know, a little off about him.
He's definitely haunted by something.
He gives Eliza these cryptic warnings about the room.
Yeah, like bits and pieces of information, but never the full story.
It's like he wants to help her.
But he's also terrified of getting sucked back into whatever happened there.
So now we're questioning him too, right?
Oh, totally.
Right.
Is he trustworthy? Or is he just another part of the puzzle that's messing with Eliza's head?
And this is where the film gets really interesting. Because it starts to blur the lines between reality and, well, Eliza's mental state.
Right, you see her start to unravel.
She has these vivid hallucinations.
She hears her name being called, even when no one's there.
And she sees shadows moving under the door.
And then there are these chills she gets whenever she's near the room.
Yeah, you really start to wonder, is this all in her head? Or is there something supernatural going on?
And the film doesn't give you any easy answers, which makes it even more unsettling.
Oh, and her artwork starts to reflect this too, right?
Totally. It becomes darker.
Yeah, way more disturbing.
It's filled with images of the locked door.
And faceless figures.
Like she's trying to visually represent what's haunting her.
It made me think about all the artists throughout history who've used their work to process trauma or anxiety.
Absolutely. It's like this primal urge to express the things we can't put into words.
But in Eliza's case, it feels like the more she focuses on the room, the deeper she falls into this obsession.
You know, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
And she can't stop herself from trying to get into that room.
Yeah, and that just makes everything worse.
She tries to break the lock.
Which just makes the landlord even more suspicious and hostile.
Yeah, and then Marcus tries to intervene, telling her to just let it go.
But she can't. She's too far gone.
She's convinced that whatever's behind that door holds the key to unlocking her creative block.
But it's actually pushing her closer and closer to a breaking point.
And then comes the twist.
The key.
Right. She finds the key to the room.
Hidden in her own apartment.
Which is so creepy. But just when you think she's going to finally unlock the mystery.
She has this terrifying hallucination.
Yeah, she sees herself trapped inside the room.
Surrounded by all her unfinished artwork.
Like it's become a prison of her own making.
It's such a powerful image.
And it makes the actual reveal of what's behind the door even more shocking.
Because when she finally opens it...
there's nothing there.
well, except for a mirror.
A mirror reflecting Eliza's own terrified face.
It's like the room was never about some external horror.
It was about the darkness within her all along.
Her fears, her regrets, her creative blocks all staring back at her.
I mean, talk about chills down your spine.
It's a brilliant twist, and it forces you to rethink everything you've seen up to that point.
And then we have the climax.
The confrontation with the landlord.
Yeah, where we finally learn his connection to the room.
And it's a tragic story.
It has a whole other layer to the mystery.
But even after that reveal, the film leaves you with this lingering sense of ambiguity.
Right. Like, was the room really just a manifestation of Eliza's internal struggles?
Or was there something more, something supernatural at play?
In the ending, those final scenes.
Where her art comes to life.
Yeah, it's dark, but it's also beautiful.
It's like she's finally overcome her creative block.
But at a huge cost.
It makes you wonder, what are the locked rooms in our own lives?
What are the things we're avoiding, the fears we're trying to keep hidden?
And how can we confront them without letting them consume us?
That's a question worth pondering.
It is.
The Room Next Door really makes you think, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
Well, that wraps up another deep dive. Until next time.
See you then.